Hello everyone, Scott Wynn here playing American Truck Simulator. Today I'll be transporting 46,000 pounds of raw milk from Redding, California all the way up to Seattle, Washington for a rail export. Here we go. Today I'll be driving my international LoneStar. What happened to the logo on my steering wheel? Somebody must have stole it. Those Bushnell Farms guys, you can never trust them. Because this is over a 600-mile journey, and this is likely to be a 1-hour video, I turned off road violations, so I might be speeding a little bit today, but not because I'm reckless, just because I want this to be a 40-something minute video, not a 60-minute video. Alright, it's a beautiful day. 3:39. I finally picked up my steering wheel, guys. It came in today. I got my pedals working too. It took a while to dial it in to get into the settings, and there's a lot of how should I put it? I don't want to say complicated settings, but settings that you really have to mess with if you're ever setting up a steering wheel. And if anyone ever has questions about that, just put it in the comments below and I'll try to help you out. It's not overly difficult, but it could require some explanation. There's a tough merge here. These people aren't very nice in this game. They don't often let you in. There we go. I take that back. This guy let me in or what? Yeah, it looks like it. Thanks a lot, Volvo truck driver. I appreciate it. Alright. So this is a base truck that I purchased when I first started this game, but I've really souped it up. It has I believe 500 horsepower. I've souped up just about everything you possibly can on it, so it is rated to carry very heavy loads. I think up to, I want to say 80,000 pounds or so, and truck included. So it's definitely capable. It's just small. It's the little LoneStar cab that could. Everybody underestimates it, but it gets the job done. I really like it too. It's the truck I learned to drive on, so I'm very comfortable driving this truck. You probably noticed the difference between my first couple of videos I did and this one. Much less jerky type of motions with the steering wheel. It's really, when I first got it and I first set it up, I immediately just felt regret because I just really couldn't get it dialed in, and it just didn't feel good at all. It didn't feel solid. It didn't feel... just didn't feel good. But really messing with those settings a lot, I was able to get it perfectly dialed in, and now it just feels incredible. And regarding the pedals, I've decided to do a 2-foot type of action on the pedals. 1 foot, right foot for the accelerator and left foot for the brake. And I'm a little reluctant to do that. I had a good friend, Jimmy Howard, growing up, and his father taught him on his, I think it was a 68 Camaro. Needed some work. He did some body work on it. It had some rust. But he rear-ended somebody in his 68 Camaro because he learned how to drive with 2 feet, and he hit the accelerator pedal instead of the brake. And yeah, that 68 Camaro was never the same after that. But in this game, it's really difficult to, I feel, navigate the pedals with just 1 foot. Especially there's such a long throw on these pedals that I really have to pull my foot all the way off and really arch my foot back to hit the pedal, and it just doesn't feel comfortable. So I'm going to work it with 2 feet and see how that goes. But so far, so good. I'm pretty pumped. You may have also noticed I did some graphics tweaking today. There's a YouTuber, I want to give him credit. He put out a great video about a year ago, September 2019, on how to tweak your graphics, because I was just noticing that, you know, his videos look really good, but mine look like crap. And I don't have a low-end rig. I have a pretty like medium to higher-end rig, so I couldn't really figure it out. But the number one thing to do that he figured out was, I think it's the view ratio. It's like one of the top things, and by default it's set at 125%. I think it's field of view, that's what it is, I believe. Maybe not, I don't know, I have to take a look at it again. But the key is to set it to 400%, and everything else I have set to ultra, except for mirror view distance. Now, the way he explained it, and I don't want to take credit, I mean, it's his information, but the way he explained it was the mirrors have to re-render stuff at different angles. And I mean, look at how many different mirrors I have on this thing. I have 2 on the side here, another 2 in the front, and another 2 on the other side. That's 6 mirrors that have to render video all these different angles in different ways. So that's a real hog regarding frames, and it also the difference is negligible between like a ultra setting, and right now I have it set on medium. And if you look in that mirror right now, I mean, I don't want to crash or anything, but it looks pretty tight. It looks pretty good. So I'm seeing vehicles early enough because I think it's actually a matter of view distance. But I'm pretty pumped. The game's running pretty good. It's looking pretty smooth. The one thing I'd like to work out is the anti-aliasing. Just getting those jagged lines on stuff, particularly really thin-lined things like telephone lines. But we have some time. We'll work that out. But I'd say I probably increased the graphics, like the look of everything, by like at least 30-40%. So I was pretty psyched about that. I'm running a ton of mods right now, and I believe I might have gone over those in one of the videos I did yesterday. But ones I added today was a realistic billboards mod, and that one looks really cool. Like last time I drove, when I was testing out my wheel, I saw like a Nike Just Do It billboard. I think I saw Benetton or something like that. So that's pretty cool to see some realistic companies on billboards. And then the other thing I added, I believe, I'll have to double check, but it was like trailer graphics for like John Deere and all these big farming companies. So I thought that would be pretty cool to see some of those trailers around. I'm always interested in looking at the trailers and see what the graphics are on them, and for me it just adds a level of realism if it's whoa, lost my concentration there for a second. I really like to take a look at the trailers when I get a chance, and just check them out, just enjoy them. Probably going a little too fast. Ooh, an Airstream. That's sweet. pull in for an inspection here. Looks like we have one coming up right here. So is it in here? Yeah, it's in here. Didn't show me the sign. Just said rest area. Looks like this guy has the same thing in mind. Oh, looks like they have one on the other side as well. I'll just stay right here. I'm all lined up for it. While we're here, let's just take a look at the that's not the view I wanted. Let's take a look at this rig. So it's a pretty long truck here. Well, not super long, but it looks amazing. Could already see the improvement in my graphics now. Alright, almost 80,000 pounds. Here we go. We are off. I'm already noticing the signs look so much more crisp, and you know, my dash numbers and all that stuff look amazing. So I'm pretty excited. I'm a bit of a graphics I don't want to say a graphics snob, but I really do love graphics on any game. And a game like this, where it's a sim, I just want it to look realistic. So it's exciting. It's exciting. What kind of car is that in front? Oh, it looks like a Cadillac. See the Cadillac logo there? Oh yeah, I noticed those telltale rear tail lights. So I'll say it again, but these traffic mods are great. That add more traffic, but they're also a little bit of a pain in the ass in these types of scenarios. But this is realistic, right? So that's what we're going for, realism. Alright, looks like we have a big opening here. I am going to try and aggressively... Man, if I had a little more room here. Alright, I finally got out of that rest stop. It took a while. Had to cut a bit of the video out. We're back on the road. Excited to be just driving. So the wheel I purchased is it's not that expensive. It's $100 wheel. It looks a little cheesy. I wish it was just all black, but it has some orange on it, and it has these cheese ball flames on it. But they're probably marketing it towards a younger crowd. But it works really well, and the price was right. So maybe I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can check it out. I mean, I'm happy with it. You can easily spend $200, $300, $400 on a wheel, and it's not something I was interested in. I mean, I love this game and all that, but I'm not putting $400 into a component that I could spend $100 on to do a pretty equal job. Now, the one thing this thing doesn't have is a gear shift. But that's something I think I'll invest in down the road. Wow, look at that sun coming through the trees. That's just absolutely beautiful. See what time it is. 8 o'clock. Sun's going down. Put the headlights on pretty soon. Hopefully we get a nice sunset. I really prefer these the northwest states like Oregon and Washington and Northern California. I love Idaho. The new DLC, totally worth the 12 bucks I spent on it. And I tend to get a little more aggravated, I would say, down in Southern California with the traffic. And just, I don't know. It seems a little too congested. Up here, it's open. It's free. Have a lot of pine trees that I love. A lot of brakes here. A lot of brakes. People merging. Let me let this guy go. Canyonville. I'd say it's pretty obvious why they named it that. Brakes, brakes. That's a beautiful scene right there. The sun going down behind those mountains in front of us. The town in the foreground. Is that a big hotel there? Is that a shopping center? 7 features, a movie theater. Oh, look at the sunset there. That is absolutely beautiful. That is stunning. Looks like these guys are going to be able to merge pretty smoothly. There we go. Let's get our headlights on. There we go. Let's check in what button I mapped my brights to. Whoa, dude. My bad. Just, I don't know why that guy is going so slow. He seemed like he was going at a pretty good clip, and all of a sudden he just checked up. No worries. State Farm. You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Real companies. Just adds to it. I'm sure there's licensing that what is it, SCS, the developer of this game, would have to do to get those people in this game, but you would think it wouldn't be an issue. You would think the companies would just say, yeah, go for it. Like, put our logos on trucks, put our logos on billboards, as long as it wasn't anything that was, you know, negative. Let's see. Man, they really don't give you a lot of warning on these. Whoa! Holy cow. That guy was in my blind spot, but hey. Close doesn't count, right? Alright. Looks like a much longer version of my truck. I wonder why they use these silver trucks for stuff like milk. I guess it's just like a liquid, and it's probably stainless steel would be my guess. It's just the best thing to transport it in, I guess. I don't know. It's raw milk, so they haven't processed it yet. So I'm guessing they're gonna take it up to Seattle and what is it? Homogenize and pasteurize the milk to get it ready for sale. So wouldn't make any sense to put it into cartons yet, I guess. Man, I don't know why people pass you and then go really slow in front of you. I guess I should probably chill a little bit. It is at night. And I almost hit a car about 5 minutes ago, so I don't want to hit anything. I tell you, boys, night and day with a steering wheel. If you're thinking about getting one, don't hesitate. It's really huge. I was a little worried when I first hooked this up because there was a really distinct dead spot right in the middle of my wheel. And I thought it was the wheel itself. And I was really just upset because I thought I'd have to return it and get another one and all that. But I figured out it was in the settings. I forget what setting it was, but it had something to do with, like, you know, the reaction of the wheel. And, you know, I want a tighter reaction. You see, I'm barely moving this. If you look at my wheel right now, I'm barely touching it. And it's reacting for me. But that, you know, that's what I want. Now, that guy in the pickup truck right over here on my side, he probably could turn his wheel like a half a foot either side, and it's still not going to do anything. You know, that old pickup truck, that old truck effect. The really loose steering wheels. Man, I love those old pickup trucks. Someday. Something like that to kick around town. There's also this guy in my town. I'm pretty into World War II history. There's this guy in my town who has a old World War II Willys. And I'd say it's World War II. I mean, it could be Korean War II, but it has a 50 cal mounted on it. And I can't believe the guy can drive around with a 50 cal machine gun mounted on this Jeep, but he does, and he's always kicking it around town in that thing. I've been meaning to talk to him some point just to say, hey, bud, you know, he's an older guy. Say, hey, if you're ever looking to sell this thing, just give me a call. I don't know if I'll have the money or the motivation, but I'm your guy. Been on this highway for a while now. Looked like a pretty straight run on the map, though. See, I'm going a little over the speed limit, but I'm not abusing it. I just don't want this video to be too long. The video I made yesterday, I cut it into two parts. The first one was 31 minutes. The second one was 36. And it was on this type of run, so that's a cop right there. He's not pulling me over, so he's not fining me. That's a good thing. That's pretty cool. When I turn my head all the way with the track IR, it puts my head outside the cab. That's a pretty cool view. Get the road noise. Love it. It looks like a power plant off to the right here. Oh yeah, it is. I don't know about you guys, but I love driving at night. This new headlight mod, it's amazing. See, there's the regular headlights, and then there's the brights. It's not blowing everything out. See if this guy gets mad and blinks me. I don't know, this looks realistic to me, more than the vanilla version of these headlights. Hollister, see, there we go, that's a real billboard, that's a real company. I believe they're trucks or farming equipment or something like that. Philips. Light bulb company. Salem and Bend. I used to live in Massachusetts for, I think I lived there 6 or 7 years. Lived in western Massachusetts, and of course a lot of my friends lived in the Boston area. And just north of Boston is the the old town of Salem witch trials. And my earlier years, I dated someone there, and cool place, really cool, steeped in history. So whenever I see Salem, I just automatically think of Massachusetts. Right on the water too. They have a great little harbor there. I remember getting some breakfast there on the harbor, drinking some Earl Grey tea on a rainy Boston day. Well, it's not really Boston, but it is a suburb of Boston. Man, I don't know how I drove with this joystick before now. This is so much easier to drive. Ford Mustang convertible. Look at this guy with his convertible, with his roof down, driving in the middle of the night. Oh wow, I finally hit 10,000 miles on this truck. Goes quick. In game days, I think I've only been in like 12 days or something like that, so it's a lot of miles in that amount of days. Let me slow down a little bit. Whoa, I'm getting a little out of hand here. Oh crap, I was supposed to get off there. Let's get off here instead. Ah, this works. Maybe I wasn't supposed to get off there. So I'm just curious where I am on the map. Let me just check it out real quick. Hopefully this isn't too much of an immersion killer. Alright, let's check it out. Alright, coming up on Portland, Longview, Tacoma, and then Seattle. Alright, we're getting there. Let me pull this up just so I see how much longer we have to go. Ah, just 183 miles, not too bad. Well, I'm going way too fast here. Let me just slow down. Road work ahead. It's another good reason to slow down. There we go. Oh crap, I'm supposed to go right here. I didn't mean to stop. That's sketchy as all get out. Man, hopefully some... Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Man, that was close. Tow truck too, that would have been bad. That's a big vehicle to be colliding with. Either I'm good or lucky. Maybe a little bit of both. Can't tell you how many times I've done that in real life. Not stopped in the middle of a highway like that, but you know, had to get over quick like that. It's much easier in real life because you could just snap your head around and just use those reflexes to get over. But this game, it's just a little tough. You know, these mirrors kind of throw you off a little bit. Plus, it's a big truck. That doesn't help. Now, this looks amazing. Is this, oh, it's Portland, right? Yeah. Slow down a little bit. Whoa, whoa! Got a little loose there. Slow it down, Parnelli. Slow it down. I have to admit, a lot of times I just merge and hope for the best. I really need to take a different approach with that, but hey, that's where I'm at. Shipyard Road. Take the foot off the gas a little bit. Let the engine slow it down. Alright. This feels like more of a acceptable speed. That must be Shipyard Road there. Vancouver, half a mile. Oh, that's a cool bridge. I'll stop here on red. Oh, this must be a drawbridge. How cool is that? That would be epic to see a ship come through here. I'm guessing they don't have something like that in vanilla. Man, there's really nobody on the road. Time is at 1:33. That would explain it. Sometimes when I know nobody's around me, I use the road. I generally like to stay in my lane, but if you have the road, you just gotta use it sometimes. Yakima. Exit 68. This looks like a BP station. The other one looks like a Shell. I tell you, that's a pretty cool thing, I think. Like, when you're driving at night, and you're just driving for hours and hours, and you don't see much, and then you see those bright gas station lights around the bend. There's something about it. It's timeless. Oh, wow, just 47 miles left. Not too bad. I tell you, these missions go a lot faster. Well, I'm calling it a mission. It's not really a mission. These runs go a lot faster when you're when you turn off the speeding mod. The tickets mod. Not the tickets mod. The tickets, you guys know what I'm talking about. When you check that off. During the day, it's tough to abuse it because there's so many more cars on the road, but at night, it's just there's nobody here. Why not? Let's see what this billboard is. Bujo Bujo. Alright. Around where I live, these things are mostly closed. I don't know what the deal is, if it's a thing of the past or just in my section of the country. I'm talking mid-Atlantic, East Coast. A lot of them are just really chained up. They have like a chain going across them. There's all weeds growing out of them. You can just tell they haven't been used in a long time, so just wonder what the story with that is. I guess the reason they do it is so the guys aren't carrying like too big of a load that would be dangerous for you know, the type of rig they're driving. Alright, I have to be getting off here soon. Just 15 miles. Reduce speed. I'll respect it. Port of Seattle, Spokane. Spokane, Washington. See, I'm getting off here. Let's see which way I'm going here. Oh shit. Did I take the right one? How am I supposed to tell? I think I took the right one. It's one of those impossible GPS moments, especially when you're in a game. Whoa! Did not mean to do that. I just didn't get off the, let me wait. Okay. I just didn't get off the, you know, that two pedal thing. I didn't get off the accelerator pedal as I was applying brake enough. Where's that train? Oh, there it is. Oh, cool. Love it. Let's see if I can get up to it before it passes by. Love these things. So cool. Pretty short train. Nice touch, though. Car behind me. Walbert, the famous Walbert. All right, super close. Am I supposed to stop here? I don't. Okay, now it's just painted on the ground. And this is so. Is this wide enough for me to get through?